Hello friends. In last lecture we discussed about the uh, structure of the stomata, transpiration, different types of the transpiration and all other things. Now today we are going to discuss about the mechanism of stomatal transpiration. As we know that the maximum amount of the water loss, it takes place through this stomatal transpiration. Near about 90% of the water loss takes place through this stomatal transpiration. So let us see how this stomatal transpiration takes place, how the opening and the closing of the stomata takes place. In fact, this process of the opening and closing of the stomata in plant, it is completed into three different steps. The first step of this opening and closing of the stomata, or what we call it the stomatal transpiration, the first step of the stomatal transpiration is diffusion of the water from leaf, that is the xylem of the leaf, into the intercellular spaces. This is the first step whichever takes place in the plant. The second step is a very important step, and this is nothing but the opening and the closing of the stomata. Getting it? And the third and the last step of the stomatal transpiration is the diffusion of water vapors from intercellular spaces of the leaves into the atmosphere. So these are the three steps through which the stomatal transpiration takes place, of which the main step is the opening and the closing of the stomata. So you can say this is the structure of the leaf, where the upper epidermis is there, which is covered by the cuticle. Then there are the two types of the mesophyll cells. These are palisade mesophyll and these are spongy mesophyll cells. We can see here in case of the palisade mesophyll, there are small uh, uh, intercellular spaces as compared to the intercellular spaces present in the spongy mesophyll cells. Getting it? Now, this is the what we call it as that vascular bundle of the leaf, in which the xylem which is connected or which is covered by the bundle sheath, which are also made up of the parenchymatous cells, special type of the parenchymatous cells, and these bundle sheaths, then these are covered by the or these are next to the bundle sheath there exists the mesophyll cell, what we call it the spongy mesophyll and palisade, both intercellular spaces. Then these mesophyll cells again having intercellular spaces. This is the intercellular spaces which are near to the stomata, or what we call it as the pores on the epidermis. Okay, and this stomata, it is covered by two guard cells. Now, what actually takes place in the first step, whenever there is a less amount of the water in the surrounding, that is a surrounding mesophyll cells and the intercellular spaces, at that time the water is drawn out of the xylem from the vascular bundle of the leaf, isn't it? Okay, so the water, it is drawn out from the xylem of a particular vascular bundle of a leaf, and water from the vascular bundle or xylem, it will enter into the mesophyll cell and intercellular spaces. Now, how it takes place, as the osmotic potential or osmotic pressure in the intercellular spaces is more high, GPD in the intercellular spaces is high, suction pressure in the intercellular spaces, it is also high than that of the osmotic pressure in the xylem, isn't it? At that time, the water from the xylem, it will enter into the intercellular spaces. At the same time, the water from the xylem, it also entered into the mesophyll cells which are surrounding to the vascular bundle. In these mesophyll cell also, the osmotic pressure, DPD, and suction pressure is high than that of the osmotic pressure, DPD and SP, in the xylem vessel. The xylem vessels are saturated with the water because water column is maintained there in the xylem, isn't it? So the xylem vessels are saturated with the water, and this water, then it will enter into the mesophyll cell as well. Now, this mesophyll cell, then they become turgid, and its adjacent mesophyll cell might have the less amount of the water. high amount of the osmotic pressure, high dPt, high Sp than that of the mesophyll cell which is present surrounding to the vascular bundle. Okay, so the water from this mesophyll cell which is surrounding to the vascular bundle, it will be transported or into the another mesophyll cell, and likewise the transport of the water in the same way takes place, and the water it will reaches into the intercellular spaces which is present near to the stomata or which is present surrounding to the stomata. Now at this stage, now the water is enter or water is transported up to the intercellular spaces which are surrounding to the stomata. Now in this situation, what happens now? Now this is the first step here. The first step is completed. The water from the xylem vessel, it will be entered into the intercellular spaces. Now the second step, you remember it. Second step, listen carefully. What happens during the opening and the closing of the stomata? Okay. Now during the opening and the closing of the stomata, here the stomata having the less amount of the water, the osmotic pressure of the guard cell of the stomata, it is a less, it is higher due to the less amount of the water. The osmotic pressure of the guard cell of stomata, it is higher. dPt is also higher. Suction pressure is also higher. Turgor pressure is low. Wall pressure is low. So at that time, the water from the intercellular spaces, it will enter into the stomata. Getting it? Why? Because these intercellular spaces are having full of water. Now remember here, in the intercellular spaces, water is present in the form of the vapors. Okay. At the same time, whenever these stomatal cell or guard cells, these are in contact with the other subsidiary cells. Getting it? Now these are also in contact with the other mesophyll cell, isn't it? So the water from this mesophyll cell and from these intercellular spaces, it will enter into the guard cell, and this guard cell become turgid. Okay, so remember that whenever the guard cell become turgid, then what changes taking place in the guard cell? You can see this is the water. Okay, water from the vascular bundle, it will enter into the intercellular spaces, and now from intercellular spaces will enter into the stomata, and you can see this is the structure of the stomata. This is the opened stomata and this is the closed stomata. Here the water from the surrounding cell and surrounding intercellular spaces, it will enter into the guard cell, and whenever the water from surrounding will enter into the guard cell due to the high OP, high DPD, high SP, at that time this entry of the water will form the turgidity, and the guard cell become turgid. They will swell up, and the turgor pressure, it will be developed into the guard cell. As the turgor pressure develops in the guard cell, this turgor pressure, it will create a pressure on the inner wall of the guard cell. But as we know that the inner wall of the guard cell, these inner walls are thick and non-elastic, isn't it? Comparatively, these inner walls are thicker and non-elastic. So there will be no any effect of this pressure on the guard cell, inner wall of the guard cell. Now the pressure is there in the guard cell. So that pressure now it starts to exert on the outer wall, isn't it? So you can see here, these are the inner wall which are thick, and these are the outer wall which are thin. So in black and white diagram, you can see these are the arrows, and the arrows mentioned that the pressure, it will be developed on the outer wall of the guard cell. These outer walls are thin and elastic. So as pressure it is developed on the outer wall of the guard cell, and these outer walls of the guard cells are thin and elastic, the guard cell, it will, or the outer wall of the guard cell, it will stretch towards the outer side, isn't it? The stretching of the outer wall of the guard cell takes place toward the outer side, and as a result of that, as a result of this type of the stretching, these outer walls also pull these outer walls also pull the inner walls to the outer side. And this action is like this. When the pressure is created on the outer wall, then the outer wall, it will starts to stretch toward the outer side slowly. As a result of that, the inner walls of the guard cell also stretches to the outer side. And this is how the stomatal pore opens. Opening of the stomata takes place, and here you can measure the diameter of this opened stomata. The diameter of the opened stomata is always more, isn't it? So, the, due to this pressure, the opening of the stomata takes place. When the stomata open, then the third step takes place. That is called as the water from the intercellular spaces. It will enter into the atmosphere. Now remember, when this occurs, when this takes place, when the osmotic pressure DPD and ESP in the atmosphere is higher, it means that the osmotic pressure DPD and OP in atmosphere is higher than that of the OP, DPD and SP in the intercellular spaces of the leaves. Getting it? At that time, the water in the form of the vapors, it will come out of the what we call it as the stomata. Now, during the opening of the stomata, there are two structures which are involved, which takes place very important role. The first is the outer wall of the guard cell, which stretches toward the outer side, and the another structure, it is a microfibrils. These are the cellulose microfibrils, which are radially arranged in the guard cell. And these microfibrils also works for the opening and the closing of the stomata. So these two structures are very important as far as the opening and the closing of the stomata is concerned. Getting it? So when the stomata opens, at that time, then the water from the intercellular spaces, it will come out of the leaf and it will enter into the atmosphere. But remember, this is the what we call it as the water vapors through which the water it enters into the atmosphere. So how these water vapors are formed then? These water vapors are formed due to the light energy, isn't it? So whatever with the light falls on the mesophyll cell, because of that light energy, the water in the mesophyll cell, it will converted into the vapors. And these water vapors are collected into the intercellular spaces of the leaf. Here, the water vapors are collected here. Okay, and these intercellular spaces now become saturated with the water than that of the atmosphere. And at that time, when the stomata opens, the water from the intercellular spaces, it will enter into the atmosphere. Getting it? And at the same time, then you can see here, the concentration of the CO2 in the leaf, it is less. Okay, you remember, all these things are taking place during the daytime. Why OP and DPD and SP of the guard cell increases? The OP, DPD and SP in the guard cell increases only during the daytime because of there are changes, certain chemical changes which are takes place during the daytime during the photosynthesis. And what are the changes? We are going to discuss it in next lecture. But till you just remember that during the daytime, when the osmotic pressure of the guard cell is high, at that time, the stomata opens. Okay, because the guard cell gets the more amount of the water, it absorbs more amount of the water by the process of the endosmosis. Getting it? And at the same time, when the stomata opens, water from the intercellular spaces, it comes out in the atmosphere. At the same time, water CO2, carbon dioxide, its concentration in the leaf is low, and the concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere is high. So by the simple process, that is the simple diffusion, the CO2 also from the atmosphere, it enters into the leaf through the stomata. So both of these processes are diffusion. The diffusion of the water vapors from the intercellular spaces into the atmosphere, and the diffusion of the CO2 or exchange of the gases from leaf into the atmosphere takes place, and both of these processes are the diffusion. So okay, when the water it enters into the atmosphere, then what happens at that time? Then when the water entered into the atmosphere, at that time what will happen? The turgor pressure of the guard cell it will be decreased. Getting it? Why? During the night time, what happened during the night time? The osmotic pressure of the guard cell will be reduced. Suction pressure, as osmotic pressure of the guard cell it is reduced, the suction pressure of the guard cell also reduced, dpd of the guard cell also reduced. At that time what will happen? The water from the guard cell it will enter into the intercellular spaces of the leaf again. Getting it? And at the same time when the water it come out of the guard cell, at that time the turgor pressure, whatever be the turgor pressure it was developed due to the turgidity of the guard cell, that turgor pressure it will also reduced. And as the turgor pressure is reduced, the stretching of the outer wall which was developed due to the pressure created on the wall, that pressure it will be released. And this process, okay, release of the pressure, it results into the sending back to that outer wall to its original position. Okay, so the outer wall of the stomata it will send back to the original position. The outer wall of the stomata it will send back to its original position slowly due to the release of this turgor pressure, and as a result of that outer wall comes to the original position. And at the same time the inner wall also comes to the original position, and the closing of the stomata it will take place like this. So opening of the stomata due to the stretching of the outer wall, and the closing of the stomata due to the outer wall come to the original position. In this phenomena, the cellulose microfibrils also plays an important role. And this is how the opening and the closing of the stomata takes place. Now, in next lecture, we will discuss about how what we call it as uh, the different theories are responsible. There are different theories which were put forth by different scientists for explaining this opening and closing of the stomata, for explaining this phenomenon. Uh, so these theories we will see in detail in next lecture. Thank you very much. Thank you.